Hey Taurus, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on. Taurus, this is a different spread than usual, and it's only because we are going to be doing a love reading next. This is the Prince of Swords. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get in. Okay, so maybe a lot of like busy thoughts, lots of brain thinkings, that kind of stuff. So all right, let's see, or maybe feeling like you have to ask somebody else something. Six of Pentacles and the Prince of Hearts. Maybe you're like, before I freaking reroute this whole situation here, maybe there's something that you're like, you want to make sure about something. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right. Kind of like this. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Taurus. I wonder if you guys are being like flooded with memories right now. You know what I'm saying? I wonder, Taurus. Maybe memories that you haven't remembered in a really long time. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What the heck? All right, sorry. I'm getting the Broadway play Cats in my head, and I don't know why that was making me laugh. All right, so let's see what's going on. Okay. What the heck? Taurus. Oh, and the World is at the bottom. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on. So you guys have the Chariot. This is showing up as the problem here. The Chariot as the problem. All right, well, there's either something that maybe you're like, I needed to kind of like pull the reins in on that earlier. Okay, that could be something here. All right, and I also wonder if maybe this is something in the terms of, oh geez, Taurus. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, so that's interesting. Well, I want to say you guys either are aware of something, but you're like the gatekeeper of this information, or this is you trying to maybe not wanting to expose a particular thing. Okay, I do understand that. All right, so okay, so Chariot card, I don't know, maybe this is like the problem could be like, yep, I'm really motivated, here I go, and then maybe it's like after my motivation went, or you know, something about that. Okay, that certainly could be something here. It also could very much be, the problem could be just like the way you're transporting to something, like the means of transportation that you are using to, I don't know, to get somewhere here. Okay. All right. I think you're doing something, I want to say a little like undercover here, or a little bit, well, yeah, that's kind of what we just said. Like, it's like there's not all the information is like on the table or something about that. All right, that's kind of what I'm feeling. So for the lie, you guys have the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, I feel like maybe you're seeing something and like, I don't know if you're feeling like, okay, this changed everything, or like that was like my last chance. Like, I'm almost understanding that, being like, well, that was my last chance to do that, or like you know, this particular thing is gonna kind of change everything here. It's interesting, okay, because it's like, I'm understanding you being like, yep, okay, I'm like going along, propelling in one direction, that kind of stuff, okay, that's what I'm understanding. And then it's like the lie here is that like, if you like change your course, or you change routes here, that it's like gonna completely, I mean, maybe it's going to completely, you know, change the trajectory of something. But this to me feels more of like a black and white situation, like all or nothing. That's what it is. Okay, that's kind of what I'm understanding here. I do understand something about luck, obviously, with this Wheel of Fortune. It's showing up as a lie. I don't know, maybe you're thinking that something was like, maybe you're feeling like, you know what, that was just like a lucky beginner's luck, or whatever the heck it is, something about that. And maybe it's like, well, no, that's not true, like you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, I will also tell you, interesting, right? Chariot for like the problem, and then the kind of lie about this is the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe the whole thing is like, you don't really need to like I almost want to say play devil's advocate, or you don't really need to like kind of stay in the middle of something. Maybe it's like, hey, this is something you gotta kind of really I want to say even allow yourself to like lose control a little bit in some aspect, okay? Maybe just like, you know, not being so maybe regimented about something. I'm not sure. So let's keep going. You guys have the Three of Hearts, and this is showing up for the truth here. I really, really like this card. This is such a pretty one. So yeah, this is for the, I'm sorry, this is showing up for the truth about this. So the truth is that there's something being celebrated, or there's some like friendship or some relationship. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's kind of like, maybe you didn't know about it, or I don't know, something about that, okay? Three, hold on here, Taurus. Queen of Hearts and the Three of Hearts. Okay. Maybe this might be a little bit of like a, I kind of say this a lot, but a little bit of like maybe a social anxiety type of situation. Okay. That could certainly be part of whatever's going on. There are so many hearts in your reading. Okay. So, I mean, that's good. It seems like there's like love here, and it feels like that is showing up as the truth. Okay. The problem is Chariot card here. It just feels like possibly maybe having a hard time pushing yourself to maybe do something that that maybe you kind of know I'm supposed to do that, or you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. Okay, this could just be something that's like you're feeling kind of, I don't know, there's difficulty in some sense here. All right, that might be part of whatever this is. I also wonder if symbolism has a lot to do with this, or some to do with this, okay, that kind of thing. One thing might mean something to you and might mean something different to somebody else, and maybe that is showing up as like a lie in the terms of like, now we're disagreeing, like I have my truth, you have your truth, that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so, all right, you guys have the King of Swords. This is showing up as a solution. I think this is communication. I think it's also kind of grabbing a hold of like your own inner power here, that kind of stuff, okay? With the Chariot card showing up as like the possible issue, and then the King of Swords is a solution. This to me feels like it's really about like harnessing, you know, power, self-control, that kind of stuff, okay? Motivating yourself, or pushing through something, you know, that kind of stuff. I do feel like there maybe is something that it's like, I don't, maybe choosing sides on something, okay, that kind of stuff, possibly. All right, I do understand something where you're feeling like something is like beginner's luck, or you're feeling, I don't know, something like that. But again, I don't think that is, I don't think that's true. I also think you're sorting out something in the terms of what came first and then what came after. What was first, and like what event happened first, or what was the first thing. It's almost like maybe somebody's had a reaction to something here, and it's like they're trying to like mess with the timeline. I don't know, like trying to like convince you that like something happened before or after, and it's like, you know, the real order of events or something. I don't know. I know that's weird. But all right, let's see what's going on here. No, this is a lot. Jeez. Okay, Ten of Pentacles, Prince of Hearts, and the Eight of Swords. I think you like being comfortable. That's, whoa. That was, okay, sorry. I was just about to say somebody's complete first name. Do not know. Okay, that was, okay. So anyway, maybe there's something that you're feeling a little bit really comfortable in something here, okay? That kind of stuff. Princess of Swords just came out, so there's obviously interest on that. So, all right, let's see. Let's clarify this reading. Maybe that's all this is. I wonder if you said somebody's name, or were about to, or something, and like you either called somebody the wrong name, or somebody thought you were talking to them. I mean, listen, I got to tell you, there are plenty of people who have the same name as us, right? So, wouldn't be that shocking, but I don't know, that there might be something in that. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Maybe you guys like like Mondays. Maybe you don't like Mondays at all. I don't know. Maybe you don't like Mondays at all. Let's see. Well, I don't think this is going to answer that question, but we're still going to clarify. Okay, so, all right. Maybe you guys like, you know the movie Super Troopers? I'm getting that. That's awesome. All right, you know when the guy's like, okay, I'm going to pull them over, but I'm going to say like meow like a million times. Sorry. That's funny. I don't know. I just got that, and the only reason is because this Ace of Hearts came out, and I thought that Ace said meow, which obviously it doesn't. But that was weird. So, all right, anyway, so you guys have a Chariot card, and then you have it with the Ten of Swords here. This is showing up as a problem. Maybe the way you're kind of arriving into something here, the little Chariot you're using there, maybe there's a bit of an issue in that, okay? Certainly could be. Okay, and I also understand maybe there's something where it's like you and somebody else are like kind of walking like a similar type of path here, but also quite different, okay? It's like you might be kind of like on like the dark side of something, okay? Or like going through like shadow work, like that kind of stuff, all right? And maybe somebody else is like having the friggin' time of their life, all right? And it might be like a swip swap, whatever the heck, type of situation, okay? There might be like pattern recognition or understanding that, or kind of understanding cycles, that kind of stuff, okay? That might be, that actually really might be something here, all right? I wonder if there's something that's like karmically blocking something here, because you might be remembering something from the past that possibly you haven't gotten over yet, or you know what I'm saying, or needs to be worked out, all right? That kind of stuff. Also, I do think that there's something that you should have maybe acted on sooner, or you're feeling that way in some sense, okay? That kind of stuff. I also understand somebody's car breaking down or getting totaled, okay? So, all right, so you guys have, so for the lie, you guys have the Wheel of Fortune with the Three of Wands here. I wonder if this is like being a little bit timid to maybe take a chance on something, okay? Maybe to kind of expand in some direction, that kind of stuff. There might be something in that that's like, there's a little bit of like a, you know, what the heck is going on there, okay? That kind of stuff. I also understand somebody being like, my luck run out, or my luck ran out, you know, something like that, okay? That might also be something that you are thinking of. I don't know. I wonder if you're like, I just need one more chance to do that. I just need like one more opportunity or something like that. I don't have the answer. That's going to be, you know, between you and whoever it is that you're working, you know, something out with. And that should be like direct communication. That shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that important, that's something you got to have a conversation like with that particular person, you know. I would assume that other person is either waiting for that conversation, or maybe they don't think it's going to happen at all. I don't know. I'm not sure. So, all right, let's see. So you guys have the Three of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, and the Prince of Pentacles, and this is all showing up for the truth here. I feel like maybe there's an energy of possibly somebody who is, I don't know if this... See, I kind of want to say jealousy, but I also like don't want to say that because I'm not really like intuitively feeling that. It's more like, what is this? How do I explain this? I can feel it, but I'm like putting it into words is a little bit tricky. There's love involved with whatever this is here, okay? There really is. But there's also something that was supposed to be celebrated but is not being celebrated for whatever reason. I wonder if there's even like some like paranoia, or like, you know, again, that's a strong word. I don't mean it in a clinical way. I mean it in I'm not smart enough to think of a different word right now, okay? So that's what it is, all right? Something about that feeling, maybe a little bit like paranoid or on edge, or, you know, something like that, okay? I do understand that. I also understand something about being like, I hope this kind of just gets like swept under the rug, that kind of stuff. Listen, of course you could do that, but that doesn't mean that the other person is like on that same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? They might not want that, or might more so want to clear something up, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. There needs to be some sort of communication, or some sort of like starting point with something, okay? Like, you know, an opening, maybe this is like inviting somebody out to, I don't know, whatever go and get a cup of coffee to have a conversation, or, you know, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Okay. I do understand that. I also think making plans has something to do with like the reality of what is going on here. Okay. I'm getting hit with such a sad message, Taurus. I'm getting hit with like the feeling of like, well, there's nothing left to celebrate, or there's nothing left to like, and that, oh God, that almost like, I don't like that at all. That definitely is not a good feeling at all. You have to remember though, for your lie, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands. So it could be that that's like, that I'm not saying your feelings or your emotions are a lie. That's not at all what I'm saying. But it could be that there are things to look forward to, or there's still things to celebrate, or there's still things to kind of like achieve, or I don't know, learn about, whatever the heck it is here, that kind of stuff. Okay, this Wheel of Fortune, Three of Wands, it's almost like if that's showing up as like, that's not true, then it's like, something you might have stopped kind of progressing forward on something, or just been like, again, like there's going to be no more, like that was my last chance, that was my last shot, like that is something, you know what I'm saying, like something about that. Okay, I really feel that energy. I think communication is extremely important. Yeah, so I mean, looking over to your solution, King of Swords and the Ace of Hearts, yeah, that's like extreme compassionate communication. It's letting your guard down. Okay, I understand that. And I also understand putting down like I want to say putting down like the armor, you know what I'm saying? And I wonder if the armor is being like a stone wall. What the heck? What am I saying, Taurus? Like putting on a brave face. That's what I mean. Like putting on like a brave face, that kind of stuff. Okay. There might be something in that it's like, you don't need to do that right now, or the solution is do not do that right now. Right now, we need to be like, really opening up our heart, maybe even being vulnerable, that kind of stuff. Okay. I understand that. I also understand possibly this is, I got to tell you, maybe even really like facing your own emotions, that kind of stuff, in order to sort through them. All right, I understand that. Okay, maybe some of you guys are actors, actresses, that kind of stuff. I'm almost understanding it's like, and this is not going to be for everybody. Okay, this is going to be for, I don't know, somebody who that's like, oh, that's me, or that kind of stuff. There might be something where it's like fabricating an emotional response in some sense, and I mean this in like an art way. Okay, like that kind of stuff, in a way that it's like, no, I want the audience to like feel something, like that kind of stuff. That's what I understand for like the solution. Okay. There's definitely a really like personal message showing up here, for the possible issue. You know what I'm saying? There could be like health references, something about that is showing up. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. That'd be cool if I was, but I am not, unfortunately. All right. Let's see what this Ace of Cups is. I mean, I already feel like the solution here, again, is really like direct communication or figuring something out, getting to the heart of the matter. That's what I want to say, get into the heart of the matter. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And there is something about communicating your feelings, and you need to be vulnerable. Well, you don't need to do anything, Taurus, but it's like, being vulnerable in that way and opening up, and maybe being less like logical, or less like strategic in something, okay? Or being like, I'm not going to show anybody my feelings, or I'm going to be, again, like that, like I keep getting like that stone wall type of thing, gray rock. I think that's for a different type of thing. I don't know. There's something like that. All right. So I don't know. Let's see what's going on. I just want to see what this Ace of Hearts, let's just see. I'm pretty sure that that's what we're talking about, but just in case. The Six of Wands. All right. Yeah. So we need to be vulnerable, showing our emotions, that kind of stuff, and being okay with showing your emotions. Okay. Or sharing your feelings, that kind of stuff. Okay. I understand something about that. All right. For some of you guys, maybe this is even like being like, maybe, I don't know, maybe even like a little romantic about something, or doing something in that way. But I do feel like this is like showing up for somebody who is having maybe a really hard time here, or is feeling, misunderstood by like everybody, that kind of stuff. That could, you know, maybe the solution here is to like kind of show up for them, or to like stick up for them in some sense, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. I also understand maybe taking the attention off of a situation. If maybe somebody is having a little bit of a hard time, maybe kind of like taking the attention off of them to let somebody kind of work through something. All right, so let's get an oracle card for you, Taurus. Oh, okay, so you got the same card as Leo. Yeah, Leo. So potion, invigoration and empowerment. Somebody wants to either remain anonymous or they don't want names being used. Okay, I understand that. I don't know what that has to do with this card, but that's what I got off of it. All right, so potion, invigoration and empowerment. Dude, so for Leo, I was like, maybe you guys like Pi Day, like 3.14 or IEPs. I got the same message off of this. All right, so I'm not sure. There's something. Maybe this is doing a love potion or a love spell. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Could be. I don't know. Interesting stuff. I'll also tell you something else. You're going to be probably surprised at how a little effort goes a long way, or just showing up a little bit goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Like, this is about like the potency of something. All right. That kind of stuff. And this is showing up for your solution. All right, so that's what I have for you guys, Taurus. I hope this reading was helpful, made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, then you can check your other placements. Otherwise, I will see you guys back for your next one. All right, thank you. Bye.